Hey guys, Dadman here, and thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be taking a look at your ranged characters, including the Scientist, Voca, and this really applies to all of them. So let's get into it. Alright, pop quiz. Where should you be putting your Vocas and Scientists on this map? I see a lot of people do this. Tell me in the comments, is this correct? I see a lot of people also do this. Is that correct? I also see a lot of people do this or this. Are any of these correct? Well, let's do a little research. Let's see here. Is this correct? That doesn't look right, does it? Well, let's see. Now, all of this applies to having a balloon pal. Let's go ahead and get her covered with a balloon pal too, just so that we have everybody under balloon pal. Level this up. Let's level them all up to level 5. Okay. Yeah, so everyone's covered under a balloon pal. I think the results here are going to surprise you and really teach you placement of your ranged characters. Now, there's a lot of ranged characters. I'm not going to name them all, but this really applies to all of them except for Bebo, and we'll take a look at why that is. Bebo is a specialty because of how he moves, but Voca has a huge range. So let's take a look at the first one. Now, the bubble represents enemies within that bubble she can fire on. So if you see here, this is absolutely the worst place you can put a Voca. And the reason is because you are losing all the DPS that correlates to her circle. Half of her DPS is gone. It's all hidden behind this pyramid. So option A is not where you want to put your Voca. Option 2, right at the beginning of the path. Now, there you do get a lot of hits from all the way here all the way down to this location. That's decent, but you're still not using or utilizing her full potential of DPS. Okay, let's look at the next one right on the path further back. Okay, so this one you can see it's nothing's being missed in the pyramid, so this isn't bad, and you can hit all along this path all the way down to here. That's pretty decent. So let's take a look at the next one. I'll stand right at the edge here so you can see. Next one. Boop. Oh, look at that. You got more range here, but what about up front? Did you lose anything? Stand here. Let's take a look. Oh, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So they are close together. But I would say that you do get a little bit more, not a lot. You know, it's just like a step onto the line. And then in the back, see how much we lose here. Oh, so you lose a step up front, or you gain a step up front, but you lose more here. So I would say this one's slightly better, but not a lot. Now this one way off the path. I mean, could this be any good? Let's find out. Okay, so this, with her, it's all the way right up to the edge of the step. And let's see how far back she goes. All the way down the path here. Okay, wow, look at that. All the way to here. Okay, let's look at the other ones. So let's compare. Voca way off out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, way less. See the line here? And then, ooh, even less. But she's also closer. Look. Almost to the step. Even less close to that. And boom, all the way up to it. Now, why is this? What is going on here that the further away you put her, the more damage you get? Well, it's actually, think of it like geometry. So she can hit in a circle. So the furthest distance away from her that her circle goes, or its radius, is right here. So how do you know where to put her? What I like to do is I like to find out the width, how far she can go, because you want to make sure she can get all the way out to the edge of the circle here. And you can notice in these horseshoe shapes of the path is always where you want to do it. And you always want to put her on the inside of the horseshoe. You wouldn't want to put her over here, because then you'd only be clipping, if you think of the circle, you'd only be just barely clipping this part of the path. And you want to line up on this circle. If you could draw a straight line from where the path starts straight through to where the circle kind of ends, you want to put her right in the middle of that. That is how you can maximize her damage. Now, the reason that is because this is the widest part of the circle. That makes sense to you guys. So as you can see, if you were to put her here, like this one, then the widest part of her circle is out here. When you compare it to the where the other side of the path is, you want as much of the path to be lined up with her, and that is why you can maximize the damage by putting her out in this weird spot. Now, this does require a balloon pal. If you don't have a balloon pal, then you would need to move her in closer to where the loop is, but not by a whole lot. Let's take a look. We can actually, here, we can remove it. And now we can see, oh, you're not quite hitting all of this curve here. So we can imagine probably somewhere right in here. You're missing all that. So let's see here. We level her up. There you go. It's really close to the edge here, which is exactly what you want. You want her pretty much lined up with the middle of the arch, and that will maximize your DPS. Because as you can see, let's just compare it real quick with no balloon pal. Okay, so she can hit here. This one, oh, shorter. This one, close. But on the back side, here, ooh, way out here. Oh, even more. So there you go. This also works for the scientists. They don't quite have as good a range as Voca. So let's go ahead and remove these and let's take a look at the scientists. Scientist is going to be more like, let's kind of just look. Okay, so middle of the circle-ish. Kind of middle of the circle-ish. Right, probably about right here. As long as nope, see, that's not quite right without. There we go. That's perfect. That's going to be about your max without a balloon pal for the scientist. So clumping them up around this kind of indent here, and maybe put like a specter in the middle of them or something like that. But with a balloon pal, your scientists gain quite a bit of range. You could almost put him. This looks really good. Maybe just a touch more over. That might be a little too far. Let's take a look. Nope, that's perfect. That is just absolutely perfect. You get the full loop starting here. There's just a little bit, but every little bit helps. This is all about maximizing your damage, your DPS. All right, well, I hope this helps. You could also actually, here, we can take a look at another loop just so you can see what I would do over here. Let's say boss comes, don't quite kill him, you need to relocate everything. All right, well, where are you going to relocate over here? I mean, just looking, you want to be on the inside of the curve of the path. You want to be somewhere here. And mind you, this is if you're getting them up to level 5. Level 1, see, she hits nobody. So this is kind of more mid-game to end game of strategy. You don't want to do this at the beginning. You put this here, she's doing nothing. You'd want, at the very beginning, you want to put some melee, maybe up here, maybe right in here. Depends on how many people you have. If you're soloing, then maybe you want all your melees right here, because you're going to get a balloon pal in here. You're probably going to put a specter in here. So maybe grouping them all together, your melees along here, and then your range is out here to maximize DPS. And then to relocate, you're going to relocate your range out here. Let's see if this is about right. Yeah, well, you could actually put her further, but for the scientists, you really can't. You got to be somewhere probably right in here. Yeah. You almost could see how far back we got here. That's pretty good. I don't know that you're going to get a lot better than that. You could maybe move. I think that would be too far. See, here it's really tight. So moving it here, I don't think that's gonna cut it. Take a look. Yeah, you lose all of this here. So, moral of the story, use the bends to your benefit with your range so that you're getting the entire portion of it, and try to maximize how far out you can go to where it still reaches the edge of the bend in the path. But also try to line it up as close as you can with the start of the circle to the end of the circle, like with your Voca. And that's how you're going to maximize your DPS. Okay, so now last thing, let's talk about Bibos and why they're slightly different than this. Bibos move. So as they're rotating, where they can hit is different. So if you were to use the same strategy with your Bibos, let's say you put them out here and you level him up. You watch, there's a time where he's not doing any damage to any part of the path out here. Now, he does reach way out here, but there's a time period which he's doing nothing. You can see right there, or close to nothing. So you're not fully utilizing his DPS as well. What I recommend for Bibo is that you put him actually pretty close to the circle, not quite on it, because as you'll see, when you get him fully upgraded, there's a small bit of area right there when he's on the far side that he's still hitting the path. So you are getting the full DPS through the arch, and you get it all the way back to about here, and all the way to the front about here. It's pretty decent for a Bibo versus, make sure he's still in there. Yeah, actually, let's move him out a little bit more. He's still within the, yep, okay. Let's see what kind of range we get on this. Here versus here, so a little bit. You do get a little bit by moving him out versus here and about here. So you do lose a little bit on the outside of the circle, but what you gain is full DPS in the middle at all times. You can see it just barely misses here, but it keeps all full DPS right near him versus nothing for a long period of time through here. See, this whole time stuff could be walking. So that's why Bibo is slightly different in your DPS. So, but also, I mean, the same applies for don't put him up here. Don't Don't do this. Here's why. Yeah, you're getting the full DPS right now, but watch his radius here of his circle. All of that just wasted. Use their range. Range is meant to be in the back, not right up in the front. Technically, melee does count in this as well. Let me show you why. Let's take a chef. Put him right up here, right up against the edge. Okay? Even with the balloon pal, you're still losing half of his range. So if you have a slow moving target, you'll instead of doing its full damage potential that it could, it's only going to do half. See what I mean? Let's put him back here. Let's see what about here. Let's level him all the way up to 5. Okay. So you're going to get damage from here to here. That's it. But here, you're going to get damage on the front side of the circle as he walks past you, and then on the back side of the circle as well. See how that's twice as much damage. You only get one half of the circle versus the whole circle. So always keep this in mind. Don't put anything right up against this. Volt, Maitake, any of them. You're losing a bit of their DPS, especially on these guys that have real short range. I mean, you're losing just so much.
All right, let's jump into a boss battle now and take a look and see how this theory plays out. Now you will see 2 of my scientists closer to the right than I had originally discussed, and that's more early game, to where you still got to protect the route when they're low level. So I put them there to protect the route as the enemies were coming out, and I just left them there. So all right, let's take a look.
This is the guy that turns into the big guy.
Yeah, the watch guy. Floats up, hops away, then just They tend to sell my stellas, they're doing nothing.
Ooh, I don't know if we're gonna get it.
The bomb has been planted. Got my bomb on me.
Oh, smart.
We have a bomb. We also have lots of carpets. We're gonna get him. Totally.
I don't know. We might. I think we'll get him. Oh yeah, your bomb. Your bomb's gonna help. Your bomb might do it. Let's see here. He's at 12. 7, 6. Oh yeah, your bomb's got him. Boom, bomb.
And
Beautiful.
it only had 947 HP left for my.
All right, guys. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments if this helped anybody out, and if you'd like to see any other videos, just let me know, and I will see what I can do. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by.